So the game finishes Forest 0, West Ham 3. Welcome to the match reaction and player rating. Oh, this is gonna be a long week. Oh, this is gonna be it's gonna be a long 2 weeks, man. I'm dead. I'm so dead, man. How the hell can you lose to West Ham, a team that's had 11 goals conceded against them in 3 matches, and we give them a clean sheet? How can you play that negative against this team? How? Just how is it physically possible that we are that bad? Before we get into it, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure to check out OK Jersey, sponsors of the video. Scan the QR code or click on the link. Every replica shirt you want is out there. Use code FFTV. Gives you 8% off. Big up to 3 stars. He says, this is a Steve McLaren. A defeat that is worse than the Coffee Cup defeat at Derby. Has Nuno been sacked yet? I mean, we will talk about Nuno. There are serious questions that need to be asked about him. Serious questions. The lethargicness of that team, the lack of subs at halftime. Fair enough. I didn't agree with starting the same team. But seriously, make the changes at halftime. Morgan Gibbs fucking shite, man. That was a diabolical performance from him. And it wasn't just him alone. It wasn't just him alone. The whole team was crap. But boy, does he stand out. Does he stand out? Einar couldn't cross a ball. Anderson overhitting balls over the top. The full Einar stinker. Absolute stinker from him. Dan and Doy, terrible. There's not one good performance out there. There's not one good. Sells maybe for the first half, but he should have saved the first goal from them. What was that? Where was the press on this crappy West Ham team, man? Where was the press from it? I told you guys I was worried about this game because Forest do what Forest do best. I told you. Oh my, 3 goals. Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson. I destroyed Lawless all summer because they signed him. And Callum fucking Wilson is the one who scores. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. There's not one performance I can think of that was decent on that pitch. Not one. Somerville, who's been out injured for 600 years, they bring him on. He's sharp as attack. Destroys Einar down that right hand side. Cooks him clean. And we're still bringing these new players up to speed. Because clearly Douglas Luiz can't even do 15 minutes. It's beyond getting a quality player on to try and control that midfield. I'm talking about the outfield players, guys. I still think Sels should have saved that first one, by the way. I still think Sels should have saved it. I mean, let's be real. Without Sels, we'll probably lose that game 5-0. And I'm trying to think of a chance we created. Like, was there anything that was half decent? I remember Wood heads a back pass to the goalkeeper. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else. Big up to Lobo with the £1.50. Thank you for the super chat. I genuinely have no words for that performance. I just don't know what to do. What is Nuno trying to get himself sacked? Because fair enough, if you want to mouth off in your presser interviews, knock yourselves out. But when you then bring that attitude to the pitch, that's when me and you have a problem. Because what was he doing? What was he doing, man? Half time. Read him the right acts and make some substitutions. Absolute shocking performance. West Ham weren't even pressing us, man. West Ham were not even pressing us at all. And now Hudson-Odoi signed his contract. The stinky performances are back. He was crap today. He was there's not one player I can think of who did anything half decent at all. Let's get into the player ratings, man. I'm biting my tongue here. I'm biting my tongue here. Get your player ratings in. The link's pinned to the chat. 10 if you thought they were outstanding. I better see nowhere near 10s on this from you lot. Shout out to Scottish. Nuno has never had a plan B. Seems now no plan A. Bro, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. It was absolutely terrible. Without Sells, it would have been 8-0. I mean, are we really saying that against West Ham? West Ham. I am so lucky I'm not here this evening. I am so lucky I am not here this evening. Sol says, sack Nuno. I'm sick of him. We needed 3 changes 10 minutes before the first goal every time. Why Nuno? Why Wolfie? Get on, never a foul later. You give it, now take it. Take the hit. Nuno out. I think it means come on, you Reds. I'm not on any channel tonight. I am out tonight. Thank God for that. The thing is, once we finish this player ratings, right, I'm going to go and watch Liverpool against Arsenal, and I'm then going to be sitting there thinking, wow, this is proper football compared to the shit we have to watch. Let's get into the player ratings. Yes, Sells made some nice saves and everything, but I'm sorry, he should be saving that first goal. It's low, it wasn't hit hard. I'm sorry, it's at his near post. He should be saving that. And he doesn't. He made some great saves. I agree with you guys. He kept the scoreline down. How are we saying against West Ham, our goalkeeper kept the scoreline down at home? At home. I think this is the first time West Ham have beaten us at the City. I can't remember the last time. It may have been like in the 90s. Even Cooper won at home against West Ham. Can someone find out when the last time West Ham won at the City ground? Like, when was it? It's got to be in the 90s. Lee with the £5 says, if I spend money on new furniture and it's nice, it's going straight into my house. So why did none of our new good players get a game? Bro, love the analogy. Love the analogy. Love the analogy, bro. And with the $5 says, buying all those players and not playing any of them sent the wrong message to the starters. Downfall of player manager. Do you know what, right? This is such a good point on the players, because Nuno, let's not forget, was the one who was crying about players not being bought 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago on Sky. Crying about it. They go and buy him quality players, and what does he do? He benches all of them. All of them. So what excuse has Nuno got now? Is the squad still not good enough? Is the squad still not deep enough? Is the squad okay to be used? No. What's his excuse now? Scottish with a £2 says, maybe this is Nuno's new style of football. If it is, he can go now. If it is, he can go now. Right, let's do the player ratings. Don't forget, you got 8% off with okjerseys.com for any replica shirt you want. Use the code FFTV, scan the QR code or click on the link. Okay, I'm going to give Sells a 6. You guys may say it's harsh, but we conceded 3 goals. Oh, and then don't get me started on Sangare with his penalties. We'll come on to that in a second. Let's see what you guys did. You went 5.4. To be fair, Nuno, his main complaints were they weren't brought in good time to prepare, i.e. pre-season. And now he needs 2 fullbacks and a keeper. How is that an excuse when you see Callum Wilson came in, what, 2 weeks ago? He's already on the pitch. He looked better than Chris Wood today. He looked better than Chris Wood. You had Fernandez was signed for them 2 days ago. He started the game today. I'm sorry, but Nuno needs to sort out his shit big time. Einar, absolute stinker today. It's not a 6, I'll tell you guys that much. Absolute stinker today. His crossing was woeful. He was the most lackadaisical, least energy player for me on that pitch today. Every time he had the ball, it was at walking pace. He wasn't overlapping on the outside. He just didn't look like, he just looked ready for the international break. He was so bad today, man. I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's been that great this whole season since it started. But today was his worst performance. He's a 2 for me. He was really, really bad today. And then when Somerville came on, he just destroyed him. You guys gone 3.1. That is so high. That is so high. Seriously. Wow. I've given no one above a 5. Most 0s. That's how angry. I don't blame you, Em. I don't blame you. My God, man. West Ham. Milenkovic was terrible as well today. He was okay in the first half. The second half, I don't know what he was doing. That run that Callum Wilson nearly scored from, that Bowen went on, Milenkovic was putting in lazy tackles in there. And just in general, it was lethargic. The whole thing was so lethargic. And it even filtered down to Milenkovic. That tells you how bad we were today. It's so bad, man. I don't know what he is, man. Like a 3? Is that generous? What did you guys? Wow, you guys went nearly a 4. Move on. Murillo. He was okay defending, but my God, was his passing shambolic at times today. Like, the whole team couldn't pass from A to B, but there was some seriously bad passes that just highlight out, and Murillo was at fault and guilty for quite a few of them. I just think his passing was bad. I thought defensively he was okay, but this is a guy who's renowned for being a good passer, a good long field passer and everything else. But my God, man, his passing was shit today. There's like no 2 ways about it. Like, can't just blame Nuno. I'm not just blaming Nuno, but Nuno sets the tone. Nuno sets the tone for it. I just got an interesting message from Ant. I'm going to give Murillo a 3 as well. I thought his passing is just unforgivable today. You guys gone 3.8. So you've got them both on the same score. We got 1,100 in here. How we doing on the likes, man? How we doing on the likes? Only 170 likes. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. I know it's painful to do because how shit our team was today. But yeah, just get the likes up if you don't mind. Make sure you check OK Jerseys, 8% off any replica shirts. We're talking about 15 quid here as well. Absolute bargain prices. So go check them out. Nico Williams. He was, you know the thing with Nico Williams said, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when he was going forward, he was inverting on the inside. And it wasn't creating the width. Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing further out wide, and Nico Williams was stopping on the inside. And there was a pass that came to him that came on the inside that he lost. West Ham were then able to break down the right-hand side. He was too far up sometimes of the play. And that allowed them to counter-attack. I think Anderson had to recover it and what have you. But I prefer him to go on the outside rather than invert on the inside. I think out of the 4 defenders, he was probably the better of the 4. I'd give him a 4. I'd give him a 4. But positionally, he was not good at all today. The performance and the subs are sackable, offenses, hazardous. I feel a lot of you have got Nuno out today. I feel a lot of you are Nuno out. West Ham last won in 2011 in the Championship. Holy crap. Thank you for looking up that stat. That's just annoyed me even more. Like, what we do, West Ham don't win at the City ground, and we allowed that to happen. Well, Nuno allowed that to happen. Appalling. All right, let's move on to Sangare. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought Sangare had an absolute stinker today. My issue with the setup was both Sangare and Anderson were playing too deep, and he's now given away 2 penalties in 3 games. His foot was lazy in there. It was lazy in there. And we're 1-0 down. We've just conceded, by the way. Like, we were 1-0 down for about 2 minutes. I don't even know what time the goals went in. But there was 2 minutes, maybe tops, between them scoring and the penalty. Max. That was a stinker of a performance. And I've always defended him, but when he's played crap, I will call it out as crap. I thought he was just as lazy as Einar today and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'm going to give him a 1. I thought he was that bad today. That bad. I'm giving him a 1 out of 10. Wow, usually you lot have the Sangare agenda and I defend him. This, note the time and day, I have given Sangare a lower score than you guys gave him. Wow. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Anderson's... It's hard to say with Anderson because Anderson was everywhere on that pitch, but his passing range was really bad in the first half. There was one that he put over the top for Wood. Wood was onside, timed his run well, but Anderson overhit it. He then overhit another one out wide to the left. There was too many overhit, bad passes all around in the game, and that was my frustration with it. Like, and Anderson was probably the best midfielder on there. The standards aren't high on that, right? But his passing was not good. Forest Mella with the €10. Thank you so much. Love Nuno, but way too loyal to our first 11. Not using our bench, needs to go. Whoa. A lot of Nuno outs right now. A lot of Nuno outs. I'll tell you where I'm at on Nuno when we get to Nuno. I'll give Elliot Anderson a 5. I'm being generous. I'll give him a 5. You guys have gone 4.3. 3 ex-Newcastle players on the pitch. Proud of them 3. All right, bro. Congrats. What happened to you lot against Leeds last night? Anyway. You guys went 4.3. Dan and Joy. Okay, I may be about to judge him too early, but I will say in all 3 games, outside of his goal and his assist, and a lot of you will say, yeah, but he scored and he assisted. What has he actually done? Yes, the sample size is small, but today kind of highlighted what I've seen for 3 games from him without him scoring or assisting. I thought he was unnoticeable, and when he was noticeable, he was crap. That's where I am with him. I don't think he's probably the best winger we have. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging him too early. Maybe I'm annoyed right now, but I have not been impressed with him today at all. He should have been hooked at half time. I just thought he offered absolutely nothing to the game today. Nothing. Am I being harsh or not? I don't know. I'm not convinced on him. Paul with the coffee says, absolutely gutted, dire performance. Hope this cheers you up, dude. Thank you so much, bro. I can tell you it's not going to cheer me up, man. I've got a long 2 weeks ahead of me, bro. But thank you so much for the coffee. I'm not convinced on him. Get Backward in, or put McAtee out there or whatever. He's a 2 for me. He's a 2 for me. 3.5 from you guys. I think that's too high. Honestly, I saw nothing from him, and what I saw, I didn't like. Chuck, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't see, he's not the X factor for me. Go get me Akliush, man. So we got 1 day to sort this transfer window out. For now. Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Morgan Gibbs White. Morgan Gibbs White. That was a tragic performance. I said in my match preview, play Sangare, Douglas Luiz, and Anderson across the midfield 3. Drop Gibbs White. This is the problem with what happened, where he signs the new contract, gets made the most expensively played player on the pitch, and is given the captain's armband, which means he is undroppable. And then you're going to get performances like that. And we all know England is more important to him than Forest. So in the weekend, before he's about to go away on an international call-up, is any one of you surprised that he puts in the worst performance out of the 14 or 15 players that were used? There was no way he was going to get injured. There was no way he was going to change this game today. This is why he shouldn't have started the game. And did he stay on the whole game? By the way, did he get pushed back into the 8s? Because by the last 5 minutes, my head was gone. If Nuno... Chat, was he subbed off? Was he subbed off? So someone answer me. I can't bring myself to look if he was subbed. He wasn't subbed off. That's kind of made my mind up on Nuno. There is no player that is bigger than the club, and there is no player who, when they play crap, does not deserve coming off. He subbed him off last week against Palace, man. He subbed him off last week against Palace, where he played better, and I use the word better very loosely in this, and he keeps him on the pitch. Like, seriously, this is the problem with the Spurs deal that fell through. He now becomes untouchable. 0 from me. 0. Stinker and not hooked. Wow, 1.4 from you guys. How the hell did you guys get to a 1.4? How? Like, seriously, how? I am, and I've said it all summer, Forest would play better without Gibbs White on the pitch. They really would. Ash with the 3 coffees. Pay Spurs to take Gibbs White and Yates. Yeah, exactly. Like, 60 million was pulling Spurs' pants down. Illegally or legally, whatever it was, should have got rid. It'd have messed Spurs up right now. Happy birthday to you, SF, man. I don't even want to look at him right now. I just can't stand looking at him right now. Let's move on. Hudson-Odoi. His crossing was crap. He made one good cross. For Wood, I think it was, and Wood just headed it as a back pass to the keeper. I don't know what else he did, man. I think, and I don't know if you lot will agree with me, but he's not fast. I think a lot of people think Callum Hudson-Odoi is a quick player. He's not a quick player. In fact, he's a one-trick pony. If he's on the left side, he wants to cut in and take that shot. Fine. If you're going to take that shot, score. I haven't seen that cheat code shot go in for a long minute right now. Now, was he as bad as Gibbs White? No. But did he offer anything? Not really. 3? He was better than Gibbs White. He was better than Dan Ndoye. And he was better than Chris Wood, if I'm being objective about it, right? Doesn't mean he was good. You guys gone a 3.4. 3.4. Anyway, move on. Surely even Jess can't say much about Chris Wood. This is the thing with Chris Wood, right? If he's not scoring, he ain't doing much. Where I will give him credit was he was pressing. No one else was pressing on that team. Not one single player pressed with him against the West Ham team that were passing the ball side to side across their back four. Against the West Ham team that can't deal with the press. Where was the press that we saw against Brentford? Where was it? Where was it? It caused mistakes. It caused winning the ball higher up in the opponent's half. It meant they were out of shape. No, everyone stood back apart from Chris Wood. So I will give him credit for his pressing. But pressing, yes, I did, bro. Thank you. I did shout it out. Yeah, the message with pay Spurs to take Gibbs White and Yates, yeah? Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for those coffees. So here's the problem, right? Chris Wood pressing means that because no one else is doing it, it creates bigger pockets to allow West Ham to comfortably come out the ball, come out their area with. Because when one goes, it creates that pocket. So in a way, even though he was doing the right thing and pressing, because everyone else was damn well too lazy to do it, or being told by Nuno not to do it, it made it even easier for West Ham to play around the striker. So yes, I'll give him credit for pressing, but there's not much else I can say about Chris Wood. I mean, his header was poor. I'll give him a 3 out of 10, and I'm being generous here. Well, you guys are being more generous with a 3.2. That's pretty damn generous. I can't lie. I cannot lie. Big up to Dom Mason with the coffee. He says, we signed 10 new players and Nuno continues to pick all his pets. Exactly. The thing is, though, there's loads of you in the chat, not saying you done, that were like, yeah, don't change a winning team. I'm saying there was plenty that could have been changed in that team to make it better. Why was he crying about no signings this, no signings that, and the other? Honestly, it's a freaking joke. Oh, Ash, there's your 3 coffees, my guy. Sorry. Another 3, sorry, from Ash. He says, Gibbs White to Spurs along with Yates. We will pay Spurs to take them. How much? How much? To be honest, Gibbs White is annoying me more than Yates. Yates at least didn't come on the pitch or anything. But yeah, what are we saying, man? Like, Gibbs White was shite. Thank you, Ash, so much for the 6 coffees, man. That's crazy generous of you. I really do appreciate it. All right. Let's move into the subs. Who was the first sub? You know what? I need to bring these up, man, because I can't remember. The subs was so bad. Was it McAtee on? I think it was McAtee, wasn't it? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, McAtee was the first on. I didn't think he was as impactful as he was last week, but I thought he was better than Gibbs White. Let's be honest. I don't know what to say on McAtee. I still rate this player. I think there's a quality player in there. I'll give him a 5, maybe a 4. Ben with the £5 says, yo, don't forget the planned sit down with Marinakis is after this match. I can only think that Nuno has corrupted this match on purpose to get sacked. He's going to get Ben over, man. Like, He can't defend that at all. At all. Good luck to him. Good luck to him in that meeting. Like, if he'd won today, he's going in with a position of strength, saying, I've put 7 points on the board. We're undefeated. I've beaten the teams I needed to beat. I didn't lose at home. Like, what we saying here? Now he goes in saying, I lost to the worst team in the league. And by the way, we didn't score. And by the way, they scored 3 against us. Embarrassing today. Embarrassing. And also, why is McAtee? Here's the annoying thing, and this is why I'm going soft on McAtee, right? Why wasn't he switched for Gibbs White? If Nuno wasn't changing the formation, which he didn't, then why on God's green earth was McAtee not put in the 10 and slapped on the wing? Another negative point against Nuno. Another negative point against Nuno for me. Let's see what you guys gave him. 4.3. I think we're being a little bit harsh on that. I don't know. I don't know. What's really harsh right now is the likes, man. We're on 331 likes with over 1,000 in here. 1 second, guys. I just need to check something. 1 second. All right, who is next? Who is next? Who the hell was next? It was Jesus. Jesus. I don't know, man. Well, there's your score for him, 3.1. I didn't really notice much on Jesus, if I'm honest with you. I'll probably give him a 4, to be honest. Give him a 4. Is he the guy that's gonna look? What's clear to see is that Nuno is using him as the impact sub. I'll be honest with you. I should have got Callum. I would have brought Callum Window on before him, but whatever. Just move on. Next was Hutchinson. I can't score him because when he came on, my head was gone, and I don't know what he did because I was too busy trying not to swear. So I don't know. I'm doing an NA on Hutchinson. I'm just going to rely on what you guys say. 3.4. Wow, he must have had a stinker then. He must have had a stinker. I don't know. I'm NAing. And I probably have to do the same for Callum Wendu, if I'm being honest with you guys. My head was just on Mars at that stage. 3-0 down. It was Callum Wilson scoring that just triggered me over the edge. You guys have gone 3.5 on Callum Wendu. But I will be judging Nuno. So let's bring that freaking idiot up, man. Look, let me say this on Nuno, right? I didn't agree with the team selection. I didn't agree with it. Douglas Luiz had to be in that team. I am now seriously convinced that he's doing some Cooper style stuff. Big up Jace with the 18 months. Thank you, Jace. And what do I mean by that? Do you remember when Cooper was getting close to the sack? And he went to Fulham and he just brought on all his boys, you know, freaking Worrell, Yates, Tuffalo, all those players. It's starting to feel a bit like that with Nuno. He's making a divide in his squad, in my opinion. He's saying, Douglas Luiz, I didn't ask for him. You sit over there. Jesus, I didn't ask for him. You can sit over there. You know, McAtee, I don't know who's his and whose isn't. But it's starting to feel clearly we know that Jesus isn't and Douglas Luiz isn't. I don't know what his beef is with Douglas Luiz to think that Douglas Luiz isn't good enough to at least get some minutes on this pitch. And this is the thing, he's making it too crystal clear. And then on the flip side, you can say Gibbs White is his boy. And Gibbs White is untouchable and should have been off at half time. This is not a good thing that you're doing it. You can't have Douglas Luiz on your bench and not use him. You can't. You can't. It's criminal. It's criminal not to use him. Now, am I saying Douglas Luiz comes on that game and sorts it all out? No. But if you bring Douglas Luiz on in the 60th minute, where Forest were pressing, where Forest were not pressing but had possession and had West Ham quite deep, then Douglas Luiz maybe finds a pass, maybe finds a shot, maybe delivers a dead ball, maybe gets a corner in, an assist or something like that. We'll never know. It's all butterfly effect. Shout out to Ash for another 3 coffees. He goes, I don't understand why Nuno has been moaning about the transfer window, then doesn't start any of them. Ash, you've summed it up in 2 lines. How can you sit there and be a crybaby about the transfer window, then get 150 million spent and think, yeah, I'm just going to stick with the players I want because that big, bad, scary Edu, he went and signed a Douglas Luiz. Who does he think he is signing me a Douglas Luiz? I want Adama Traore. I want to oil him up. Maybe Nuno likes oiling the Traore. Maybe that's what it is. Big up to you, Ash, man. You're an absolute legend with those coffees. Ian with the £5. He says, I've been Team Nuno for a while, but after today, I think it's time for him to go. Millions spent to warm the bench. Like legit, what the hell, man? I can't argue with it. Now, there was a poll there. Over 900 of you voted. Would you sack Nuno? 61% of you are saying yes. 38% are saying no. I get it. Temperatures are high. Bloods are boiling and what have you. But wow, that is a big shift in your guys' kind of feelings towards Nuno. Even after Nuno came out and said what he said in the presser, I think, if I remember rightly, most of you blamed Edu on the poll we put out there. So, wow, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. I'm giving Nuno a 1. A 1. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's true, Brucey. We're on 390 likes. You lot are moving like Nuno moves with subs right now. Like, what are we doing here, chat? Over 1,000 in here, and we're on 396 likes. Like, tell me you don't move as slow as Nuno. I need to know you guys move quicker than Nuno. You know what? I'm not revealing your Nuno score until we hit 500. How about that? I will keep it locked in because I need to know, did you guys score him higher than me or not? So get those likes up if you haven't hit the like button already. Someone's saying it should be 0. I'll wait for you guys. I don't mind waiting. Where did I get the 1 from? I don't know, man. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. But that means you guys have surely scored him less than a 1. And don't forget as well, quick reminder, OK Jerseys are today's sponsor of the video. £15, but if you use code FFTV, you get 8% off as well on all replica football shirts. All right, I mean, you guys are still moving slow. What's the likes on? 466. I imagine you guys don't want to know what you scored Nuno on. There's been over 250 votes, by the way. Crazy amount of votes in today. I'll take a drink while I wait. I don't mind. We still need 25 more likes. Remember, use code FFTV. It's already cheap, but even cheaper with that. I'll wait for you guys. I don't mind waiting. 481 likes. Need 19 more likes. It's not that hard. It's free to do. If you don't know where it is, if you're on your phone, close your live chat, hit the like button, reopen the live chat, and say what you need to say in the chat. It takes 2 seconds to do. Big up to... I don't know who sent the coffee. Anonymous person with the 5 coffees saying, Might something stronger than one coffee to drown your sorrow. Shout out to you. Please do put your names on there so I can big you up properly. But you know who you are. Whoever sent the 5 coffees. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. All right. Are we at 500? Have you guys done your job? All right. We're at 500. Your score for Nuno, and I dare you score him higher than me. 0.7, man. 0.7. That is the lowest manager score you guys have ever done since we started this channel. 0.7. I can't argue. I can't argue with you guys. I think you've actually been quite fair. Too high. Too high, says Ian. I didn't even know it would do 0.7s on there. And wow. Because you couldn't go lower. Wait, you guys can score zeros, can't you? I think you can. Well, obviously you can, otherwise it'd have been there. Who gave Nuno the 0.7? I don't know, over 250 of you have voted on that, so 0.7, my God. Okay. Yeah, maybe I am the happy client. I am telling you now, I am going to be... Look, let's have a conversation, guys, right? Let's have a conversation on this, because right now, if I'm being honest with you, this very second, I am Nuno out. I'm Nuno out. I just think that performance is sackable in itself. Completely sackable in itself. In the end, we always 0-3, man. Shout out to you, Ben, with the £2. I don't know where your guys' heads are at. Now, if I sleep on it, will I change my mind? No. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. I just, look, this is where my head's at. Why did he rock the boat in the first place, publicly? That's number one for me, right? Why did he rock the boat with the public announcement? One on Sky. Look, I agreed with him when he did it on Sky, because the time of recording, we hadn't got the players in, and I did agree with it, okay? I did not agree with the presser. The presser is... The players were in. It was after... In fact, it was after Douglas Luiz was signed, and he started crying on the presser. This has to, on some level, affect the players, the staff, the morale and everything like that. 28 people out of 250 voted 1. Everyone else voted 0. That's some quick maths, bro. That's some quick maths. I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you as well. I don't want a defensive manager anymore. I look at this team and I think this team has the potential to comfortably be fighting in European football spots and in Europe. I think if you set this team up with the right mentality, look, I'll even say this, the team that he put out today, tactically, if the tactics were different, should have absolutely walked all over West Ham. If the team, just forget what you think on who should have started, who shouldn't have started, right? If Nuno sets this team up with a higher press, especially on a West Ham team, they're never going to counter you with the lack of pace they've got in the midfield, right? If you do all of that, you press them, you force the mistakes. It's one simple change like that, which changes everything. I think this team had more than enough to beat West Ham. And let's ignore the Douglas Luiz stuff for a second. It doesn't need a Douglas Luiz to beat a team that's conceded 11 goals. This team lost to Wolves. This team lost to Sunderland. This team lost to someone else. I can't even remember who the other person was. Adama Traore signed and would win 3-0. If this is all about Adama Traore, which it's not, but there is a big chunk of it about Adama Traore. And by the way, the full story about the Adama Traore stuff is on Patreon. So if you want to know all the details about what Nuno did, what Edu did, and how it all played out, then make sure you go and check it on Patreon on there. I just right now, in this moment in time, he can fuck off. is my answer. Because exactly what Hazard has just said there, this is self-sabotage. And if you want to self-sabotage yourself, if you want to injure yourself, go and do it in someone else's club. I haven't got time for this shit. Not when Forest are on the point of where they are. Ash, man, you're being way too generous here, bro. Thank you so much with yet another coffee. He says, would you have you'd been happy signing Jack Grealish? I wanted him at Forest. Bad. Me and Ant both said we had taken Jack Grealish. But look, guys, the thing we need to consider here as well, and this is an important point, is if Marinakis doesn't sack Nuno, forget the performance today. Marinakis, in my opinion, looks weak. Because Nuno's undermined what Marinakis has set up in terms of he wanted Edu in, he wanted Edu making these decisions, and then Nuno's thrown his toys out the pram, and Marinakis is basically bowed over to what he wants. I don't want to see my owner being looked to made weak after what he's done throughout, his tenure here. And if he's got to pay, forget the performance today, Bobby. We all try to. And if he's got to be paid off, I don't care. Marinakis decided to give him the new contract. Marinakis faces the consequences of him signing. If Nuno had anything about him and he was feeling that way about Forest, he would have walked, which tells you he's really just kind of bartering for position on this. And I agree with what 1979 saying. Is Nuno long-term going to be the one to take us forward? I don't think he is. Big up to Ian. He says, who would you and everyone else have over Nuno? My answer is always the same on this. My first step is it manager in or manager out? After I've made that decision, it's up to the club who they bring in. My only criteria right now is I want a manager who's going to play a higher press and more aggressive football and more attacking football. I've done Cooper ball, I've done Nuno ball. Now I need some attacking ball, bro. Broken King with the 199 says, if Nuno out, who would you replace him with? Exact same question, exact same answer. I think there's plenty, man. Marco Silva would be a good transitional manager. You got Iriola. Glasner's better than Nuno. If you want full high attacking football, you could go Ange. I ain't. By the way, I don't want Ange, but I'm just saying. But these aren't questions for us to answer. We can give who we would like, but at the end of the day, Marinakis is the one making the decision. And with the coffee as well, he goes, now is the time to let him go. With the break, we have time to bring someone new and work with the players for some continuity. I agree with this because there's 2 weeks. Look, he didn't sack him before Palace because there was only a day before the game or whatever it was. Then Marinakis has been in Europe. He's been meeting with John Textor this weekend. Okay, so there was no point to sack him before this game. Now they need to sit down and decide. Now, whatever way Marinakis goes, I will back him. But I'm not on Nuno's side on this. I'm on Marinakis' side. And furthermore, I'm on Forest's side on top of it. So my phone went off. Yes, I did, bro. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And you've been way too generous, Ash. Way too generous, bro. I really do appreciate them. Anyway, we'll break this down. Look, tomorrow's deadline day. I'm going out this evening, so I can't even do a gore. If anything breaks, then I'll see what I can do. But what was I going to say? Yeah, we'll start at about 5:30 tomorrow. It will be a post-match on this and obviously transfer deadline day. There is a lot to talk about. So make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. Don't forget to check out OK Jerseys. For £15, you can get any replica football shirt you want and use code FFTV, which will give you a further 8% off. Scan the QR code or click on the link. Right, I'm going to go watch some real football now. And I will see you guys very unlikely later on, but definitely tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you so much for watching. Come on, you Reds.